The Yankee fans are booing Altuve. Marvin Gonzalez is sitting in the dugout like, bro.
What is going on, guys? My name is Dillard. This is another Yankee Way podcast. I am back with my co-host, John. How are you doing, my good sir?
I'm doing very well. That's the least of what I can say. I'm doing very well right now.
Just to kind of go through some stuff, standings real quick, because I don't want to talk about it for too long. Everybody
Oh,
kind
I
of,
thought you didn't want to talk about standings.
I did just a little bit because I do
Oh,
want to talk about the last two games in particularly, but I just wanted to mention a few things real quick because it's something that I think needs to be repeated constantly and drilled into people's heads about how good this team is. So you got a casual 7.43 winning percentage. It's just
you
light work
know,
for this team.
normal. It's sustainable.
Um,
Light work.
you have a 30-7 record at home, which is two losses to Toronto, two losses to
Unbelievable.
Chicago, one to the Rangers, oddly enough, one to Baltimore, and one to Boston. Pretty
Chris Wood will
insane.
punch in the air right now.
You got a 23-9 record against winning teams, which is the best. I think second place is the Mets, if I'm not mistaken. You have a plus 146 run differential, which is the best. And the best part about it all is the Yankees are in one of their toughest stretches that they will play this season. And so far in that tough stretch, they are 8-2, which would be, or 8-2 in the last 10 games, I would say, which includes a sweep against Tampa at
Yeah,
home,
I would
a
say that's pretty good.
a series win against Toronto in Toronto, a series
Pretty
win
good.
against Tampa, which they ended up stealing the last game, which we'll talk about that. And then the last one is they started off with a game win against the Houston Astros. So the offense is good. 115 home runs, 769 OPS. Those are both in the top category for first. And then you have a team 2.94 ERA, and that is actually second. The only team that has a better ERA is the Dodgers from both the rotation and the bullpen, which, to be fair, the only reason that the Yankees are still not number one in ERA is because this last game, Tyon did not have his best stuff. But now that I got that all across the way, out of that way, go ahead and tell me what you wanted to yell about, because I know you said you wanted to yell about something specific,
Yeah.
and we're going to be talking about the Astros game. So let's just start with the Astros game first.
Can somebody explain to me why? I understand at the end of the game, you have Aaron Hicks hit arguably one of the biggest home runs of his career. Funny enough, he only seems to hit big home runs against the Astros. If you guys remember, the last home run he hit against the Astros was against Justin Verlander, I think, when he donged one off the foul pole in the first inning. I think it was it was either a year ago or 2 years ago. No, it was 2 years ago because last year we lost in the wild card. But that was man, he always has a flair for dramatic home runs against the Astros. And so what I wanted to yell about is the fact that you have IKF get on, and then you have Jose Trevino come up. I'm gonna say IKF stole that base. Everybody can scream at me. He stole that base. Everybody, all the analytical people are like, "Oh, why was you stealing that situation?" Look, he stole that base. The umpire just took it away from him. Unfortunately, that was a situation where the review was never going to overturn it. He was safe, but the call on the field was just unfortunate. It just didn't go our way. Whatever. We'll cry about it. But then after Trevino singles, you have like so many opportunities. You have like, oh, I'm gonna go to Josh Donaldson. I can go to Marvin Gonzalez, but you let Joey Gallo hit. Like, what are you doing? Why? I understand. I think it comes down to this. I think it's Boone sitting there and being like, I want to put my players in a position to win, so that way when they do it, they have confidence to do it again. But I'm just sitting here like, bro, you literally have Josh Donaldson sitting on the bench, or Marwin Gonzalez, two people I have way more confidence in than Joey Gallo right now to do anything. I'm thinking to myself like, okay, maybe he's gonna put Joey Gallo in so he can bunt Trevino over. No, he just goes down on 3 pitches. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? This is so stupid. Like, do anything else. Did it work out in the end? Yeah. But, like, that was just so bad. And I'm just,
Hindsight is 2020 kind of thing, but still you go back at it and you're just kind of
No,
like,
in the
that's kind of a
moment I
head
was
scratcher.
screaming about it. I'm just like, bro, what are you doing? This doesn't make any sense. You're putting Joey Gallo up there, who's either going to hit a home run or strike out or get hit by a pitch or walk. And only one of those three things is good, and he is not doing the thing at a high rate right now. Let's be real here. You got a guy who throws 100 up on the mound. I don't think Joey Gallo can hit this dude. And we know from watching our time in Tampa that Stanek throws high fastballs like a god. Like this guy just wears out the top of the zone. And I'm like, nah, dude, this matchup sucks. I don't know what Boone like. That's all I can think of is Boone's like, well, I want to put him in a position to win. But I'm like, bro, you literally have an ex MVP on the bench and another dude who this year has been looking suddenly pretty solid recently with the bat. I just don't get it. Like, I'd even rather Higashioka in that situation. Just not Gallo right now, man. Just Okay, maybe not Higashioka either.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree with that. I mean, it's a pretty reasonable take considering the fact that, like you said, Stanek has got nasty
You literally
heaters.
just tied the game, and you're like, okay,
Yeah.
good job, Gallo. Get out there. It's like in T-ball. You're like, all right, like, come on, man. This game doesn't matter. Let's go. I'm like, bro, this game matters. You win this game. Come on, let's go. Send up Marwin. Or you don't even pinch run for Trevino in that situation. You have Trevino on first. Just put Donaldson at bat and put Marwin Gonzalez on first base. Like, come on.
I mean, even at least Marwin Gonzalez has hit a few homers in like
yes,
the last
Marwin Gonzalez
like, 3-4
has been hitting
games that he's played.
Suddenly he has 2 home runs.
Yeah.
I'm just like, please. Like, clearly Marvin's been seeing the ball recently, like, better. But, like, seriously, the move in this situation for me is you put Donaldson up at the plate because he has a flair for the dramatic. He already has 2 walk-offs this season. And you pinch run Marwin Gonzalez at first so that way if Donaldson hits a ball in the gap, he can score from first. Like I said, it worked out because DJ took a walk that, if it's any other umpire, that's probably strike 3. Because that umpire is a hitter-friendly umpire. But I'm just like, bro, like, I just feel like in that situation, letting Gallo hit is just a terrible decision. And I know Boone's all about his players' feelings and all that, but I'm like, man, you need to score this run here. I mean, I have a lot of confidence going into the next inning that if he doesn't get the job done, then you have Judge, Rizzo, and Stanton, and you have Holmes in the bullpen. I have a lot of confidence in that situation, but I'm not taking a chance. Like, you win this game now. You do not let it go to the 10th. You cannot let this game slip away. I do not care. Anyway, that's all I wanted to scream about.
Well, if that's been Gallo's kryptonite, it's been that high fastball, and Stanek does a really good job at the rising fastball, just pumping heat at the top of the zone. So that is basically a perfect matchup for the Astros, is Stanek against Gallo, because they know he can't hit the high fastball, and he struggled all year long to do
Gallo.
it.
And I'm sitting here watching this game, and I'm like, you watch Aaron Hicks get in the box, and he takes strike 1, and then he loses strike 2, and he has this feeble little swing, and I'm like, bro, this does not look good. This is not a good at bat for Aaron Hicks. He has let 2 pitches go right by him. I'm like, oh my god! And then he just gets a cookie down the middle and hits it a million feet. And the first thought that came into my mind is just like, okay, is Aaron Hicks, did he like bait this pitcher into throwing him a fastball down the middle? Like, I don't understand, because he looked like he was sitting breaking ball for the first 3 pitches of this at bat. And I want to yell about Ryan Presley, but I want to let you take a chance too. But like it looked like he baited him. It almost looked like he baited him. He's like, okay, I'm going to take this fastball. Oh, I'm going to be late for the other fastball. And then I'm going to take the breaking ball low. And then I'm going to hammer this fastball. Like, it looks like he almost set up Ryan Presley. But I don't think he's that good. But I want to believe that's what happened here. Anyway.
It's a plausible theory. I have no idea how much credibility that theory has.
Like almost Barry Bonds levels of setting up hitters. It's just like, or watching Bo Jackson set up receivers on routes. It's just like, what am I looking at here? It was just too coincidental to me, but I don't think he's that good. I don't know.
Honestly, whenever I saw that Aaron Hicks hit that home run, immediately I was like screaming at the top of my lungs, and I really thought about it, and I'm like, why is it's literally something with Aaron Hicks and playing 2 teams, the Houston Astros and the Minnesota Twins. He has a thing for the dramatic against both of those organizations. For what reason, I don't know, but he's done it year after year against both organizations multiple times that we've seen it. We've seen the home run tonight, or actually yesterday when this podcast goes up. You have the home run that he hit against Verlander in the
Well, in the
AL.
playoffs, yeah,
Yeah.
off the pole,
And then you also have if we go
the
back to the
Twins.
Minnesota series, you have that one big homer that tied the game, correct? If I'm wrong, tied the game up. And then a few years before in 2019, you have Aaron Hicks make one of the best catches you'll ever see. I mean,
He gets the
I don't
Twins,
know what
yeah.
it is. He literally owns the Astros and the Twins. Like he realistically shouldn't at his level, but
Yeah,
he just has those moments against them.
he has that Yankee DNA of like the rising to the occasion. Occasionally, I won't say he does it all the time, but he occasionally does it. And when he does it, it's in a big way. Like he just sometimes does it. He just pulls it out of him, and he can just do it. Although, you know, for some reason, when it's hitting a little sack fly, we're like, please, all you have to do is hit a fly ball, and he can't do that. But you need him to hit a game tying home run. I mean, look, when Hicks came up to the plate, I was just like, okay, why are we not pinch hitting Donaldson here either? And then, of course, he shut me up. But still, I'm like, hindsight's 2020. But still, in the moment, I'm like, I don't like Hicks in this situation, but okay, we'll see where it goes.
Yeah. I will say kind of something that I wasn't planning on talking about, but I thought about it at the last minute. I don't know if you remember whenever Castro came into relief pitch, but I don't know if you remember the changeup he threw to Yordan Alvarez and struck him out. I don't know if you saw that or not.
That back foot changeup.
It was absolutely disgusting. And if you know anything about Yordan Alvarez, he's one of the best hitters, if not the best hitter this season right now.
I've never heard of him before.
I mean, like
Who?
I didn't look at his StatCast profile before today, but I remember I was looking up information from Yordan like a week and a half ago. I would say no more than 2 weeks ago, and his expected slugging and expected WOBA and expected batting average for that matter, all of his numbers are ridiculous on fastballs, breaking balls, and off-speed pitches. All of them, he doesn't miss. He's extremely dangerous.
I think today, after the 3-run home run that he hit off of Tyone, I think he actually overtook Judge in WRC plus. I could be wrong.
He is. He's like 203, if I'm not mistaken, 201.
Yeah,
He's in the 200s.
I mean, anytime you can put him back in the dugout is just like bonus points. And that's like the big guy to avoid in this lineup right now. I mean, just like, I'm not gonna lie to you. In the first inning, the third inning when Alvarez comes up, I'm just like, who's gonna walk him in the situation? Like, I don't know, man. Like, and then as soon as that thought popped in my head, then the ball ends up in the seats, and I'm like, yeah, I probably should have walked him.
You know, honestly, I will say this. To Bregman, that was a complete meatball, but honestly, the pitch to
that was a meatball.
The pitch to Yordan Alvarez, he kind of had to chip that out of the ball of the zone. I mean,
it wasn't that bad.
I don't think that was the worst pitch that Tyone could have thrown to him. So you just have to give credit to.
Wasn't. And I mean, to be honest, in any other ballpark, it's probably a double. But like in this ballpark, like you can't pitch like that to a lefty. You know, you're just begging. Like the problem is you throw him a changeup like that, you need to bury it. You can't leave it near the zone because it just speeds his bat up, and he just hits it out like what he did. You know, he was probably sitting middle for a fastball and just sped his bat up, and next thing you know, bam, 6-3. And on top of that, real gritty of him to settle down after that. Like. Yeah. I thought he was done at that point. Blake is like, bro, listen, I need you to throw some innings here, my dude. You're gonna need to grit this one out. And kudos to him, he figured it out. After that, held down the Astros, not Altuve clearly, but held down the Astros in generally, and did a good job.
Yeah, that's what I tweeted out. I said, you know, Tyone didn't have his best stuff, but you know what he did do? He gave the offense a chance to win, and they won the game. That's all that you can hope for.
He gave us a chance to win by us not getting a hit from the second inning until the ninth.
Yeah. And
I'm just sitting here like, this is tough to watch. I really don't want to watch this anymore, but I can't look away from the train wreck. I'm just like, man, this kind of sucks today. And then it turns out, 27 outs. Game's never over until
I stress that all the time on Twitter, and you have some of those irrational Yankee fans telling me it's over, and I'm like, it's not over, guys. Look what the team just did. 4 runs in the bottom of the ninth. You cannot give up on this team. You just cannot give up. They're too good. Even against a good team like the Astros, they can come back and win.
Do you remember at the beginning of the season when Aaron Judge had like no career walk-off hits? Do you remember those good days? Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, now he has. 2, right? He
I
has
think he
one
has like
against the
two or three now.
one against the Blue Jays, and
Blue
then
Jays,
one against
Romano
the
was the home
Astros.
run, and
Hmm
then this one against the Astros.
hmm The closest that he had was in 2021 when he had a bases loaded walk. That was pretty much the only
Bases loaded
thing that
walk.
he's
That was his
had
first
since
walk
then.
off, and then he
Hmm
had a hit this year. And then I think it judges either as 2 or 3 this year. I can't remember.
I think it's 2. I'm pretty sure.
I feel like he had another one. I don't
I think
remember.
Trevino has the most. Pretty sure Trevino has 3. If
Trevino is
I'm
like,
not mistaken.
yeah.
Um,
There's a lot of walk off hits here
mhm,
in this lineup. It's crazy, man. This team just has a flair for the dramatic,
mhm,
and it's not even free runs either. It's like ninth. It's like ninth
mhm.
inning. You have Rizzo hit the walk off home run in the bottom of the ninth. You have Judge hit a walk off single in the bottom of the ninth. Like you don't even need the Manfred ball. Just we got this.
I did want to mention Rizzo's incredible. What was it? 16 pitch walk. I know
Yeah,
one
his
of the.
16 pitch walk.
I know one of the pitches that was technically should have been a called strike, but it was a ball. But still, I mean,
The
16 pitch
catcher
walk is.
Maldonado had to reach for it, and like Rizzo crowd hasn't played anyway, so the umpire doesn't know what the hell a strike is anymore.
But I just have to give a lot of credit to Rizzo. I mean, that was
Yeah,
amazing.
they got him out of the game with that.
And you know
Although
what I
to be
was.
honest,
Yeah. Do you know what I
to be
was
honest,
really thinking about though, John? Do you know what I was really thinking about when he got to the point where it was
here
10
we go.
pitches? What I was really thinking about was, I know
He's
that
gonna hit a home run now.
well, I know most of the time that you just watch Yankee games, but I couldn't help but think last year, before he got traded to the Yankees, when he was still with the Cubs, he had like a 10 plus pitch at bat that ended in a home run. And I was thinking that I was like, he's gonna hit a home run. He's gonna hit a home run.
Here
I
we
was
go.
fine with the walk, but it was just like I
Yeah,
was
we
thinking in
take
the back of my
those.
mind, he's gonna get a meatball over the plate. There's gonna be a mistake, middle, and he's gonna crush it. And he still got the walk,
Credit.
so I appreciate it.
Credit to Rizzo. That at bat was key in getting Valdez out of the game. Although to be honest, I really think that you have better chances against starting pitcher than the Astros bullpen. Like that's just the way they're set up right now. Like they're one of the best bullpens in the league right now for a reason.
Mhm.
Except Ryan Presley, that is. And I want to talk about Ryan Presley if you have anything else to say.
Pretty much the only thing I was gonna say was I literally screamed at the top of my lungs when Aaron Judge ended the game. It was incredible, incredible fight, incredible finish from this team. Can't ever give up on them.
We can talk about the Rays series in a minute, but this is the last thing I want to say about this game is that you see Giancarlo Stanton take this walk, and you're like, okay, look, if Stanton's not hitting the ball, fine, he takes his walks. It's good. He's seeing the ball well. He's just a little off mechanically, fine. He hit a home run today, which is great. But then like you see Stanton walk, but then Torres is up, and you're like, okay, Torres has a 2-2 count, and then like he throws a curveball that's outside, and you're like, okay, Torres has a 3-2 count right now. It doesn't matter. Like first off, Giancarlo's up, and he doesn't want to pitch to Giancarlo. He can't find the zone at all. He only throws one strike, and that's at bat. And like if you're an Astros fan, you're probably sitting there like, I don't care if Giancarlo hits a 700-foot home run and it's a 300-mile-an-hour exit velocity. You throw a ball down the middle to him, and you say, hit this ball. You do not let him get on first base. And then Torres is up. I don't care if Torres hits a 700-foot home run with a 3 million-mile-an-hour exit velo. You cannot throw a 3-2 breaking ball to Gleyber Torres in the dirt. You can't do that. Like, you're literally asking them to burn you at that point. You walk the first two people, and then you shouldn't be surprised when Aaron Hicks hits that home run right there. Like, I don't know what you're doing pitching around the first two people, but at that point, when Torres walks, Dusty Baker should be on the phone right there and be like, I'm going to need somebody up right now. And it takes until like after Jose Trevino singles for him to get somebody else up. I'm like, this is not going well. This is clearly not good for him. But Ryan Presley did not have it. He never seems to have it against the Yankees. He must have like a 7 ERA against the Yankees in his career. It's just unbelievable. But
wasn't his ERA up to 5 before this game even started?
Yeah, it was a 5.71 before the game began. As soon as he walked Torres, I'm like, that's it. We're gonna win this game. Like, I don't care. Like, this dude has nothing. He pitched around Stanton and threw a 3-2 breaking ball in the dirt to Torres. Like, this dude, like, I don't care. You throw the ball down the middle to Torres. You throw them down the middle until he hits one. You make him hit one. That's just such a surrender pitch. You throw him a breaking ball 3-2. Like, what are you doing?
Honestly,
he's
that's
so afraid of Torres. He didn't want to throw anybody straight. He didn't want to throw anybody fastball. Same with Judge. They didn't want to throw Judge a fastball. They threw him 4 straight splitters. Like, and then he
couldn't
hung
even
one.
find the he couldn't even find the zone on the first 3 pitches.
I don't get at
so.
3-0. You might as well walk him because, yes, it's Rizzo, but I have way more confidence in striking out Anthony Rizzo than Aaron Judge right now. Judge was like, nah, no thanks. I don't want any of that.
I have a theory, okay? And obviously Aaron Judge is the best player on the team, undoubtedly, and he might win MVP at the end of the season. We'll talk about that later down the road. There's a lot of season left. But yeah. I wonder if something was in the back of Stanek's mind. I wonder if he was thinking, I really don't want to pitch to Judge, but I should. No. And I was thinking this. Was he thinking about maybe I don't want Rizzo to come up to the plate because of what Rizzo did earlier with the 16 pitch at bat? Because at that point, all you need is a walk to win the game. You could have a bases loaded walk if Judge walks, then Rizzo works out a crazy plate appearance like he did earlier, walks, and the game's over. It's just a theory. I don't know if that's true, but
no, that's the problem. It's like that's the argument against what I said, which is like, well, you might as well just walk a Judge at that point. But then, like, if you can't find the zone and you walk in the winning run, that's a problem. But I just, he was so afraid to pitch to Judge. He did not want to throw him a heater because he just knew what was going to happen. And you know what? He hung a splitter, and Judge was sitting heater, and he swung, and he hit it to left. That's what happens. Judge was trying to hit the ball to right with a fastball, and he got it early because he sped up his bat. You know, the whole 9th inning to me was just a complete mess from the Astros' perspective. Like, it was all downhill, and the only thing that almost bailed them out was the second base umpire not seeing that play in front of him. I thought he was safe, honestly. I thought IKF stole that base. I thought there was a camera angle. Like I said, the only reason that didn't get overturned was because you could not clearly see his foot and the bag because the dirt was in the way of the camera angle, and that to me is the only reason that play didn't get overturned. I think he was absolutely safe. He beat the throw by a mile, and just unfortunate, just the camera couldn't overturn it. You know, it happens.
You know, kind of side note, and then we'll talk about the Rays real quick. Whenever you mentioned Gleyber Torres, I thought you were going to mention the whole kind of the incident where he needed to have the trainer come out and give him some eye drops because he couldn't see. And I remember Carlos Beltran was like, you know, this is one of those spots where you really need your eyes to work. I'm like, yeah.
Thanks,
yeah,
Carlos.
I wonder.
Hey, Carlos. Carlos, say, bro, I don't know if he's like Booger from the NFL games. Like, you know, traditionally, the team that scores more runs usually wins. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I thought I would just talk about that because I thought it was funny when he said that. I'm like, yeah, I kind of want Gleyber Torres' eyes to work too and be able to see the ball.
I understand that Carlos Beltran, like, I understand he's in the Hall of Very Good and he is an analyst, and I get that. But I don't like it when he talks. Okay? He's gone back to Mr. Opportunity, and he's like, did you hear at the end of the game after Hicks hits the home run? And then he's just like talking about how Aaron Hicks needed this swing, and I'm like, yeah, no shit, he needed this swing.
Well,
like,
the
moment.
I was gonna say, outside of the Astros game, it seems like any time, like any possible chance they can get, they always ask Carlos Beltran, like, what do you think about the whole cheating scandal? And I'm like, dude, I'm pretty sure he's gotten to a point where he's just tired of talking about it. Like, we don't want to talk about it anymore.
Look, it's 2017. It's awkward. You're asking Carlos Beltran about the cheating scandal. The Yankee fans are booing Altuve. Marvin Gonzalez is sitting in the dugout like, bro, I'm here now. Like, Marvin Gonzalez is there. Carlos Beltran's in the booth. Yankee fans are booing Altuve. It's just like, come on, man. It's so weird. Yeah. I understand he's a Yankee, like he's an ex-Yankee. I understand that, but it's just weird. All right, I want to talk about the Rays for a little bit.
Yeah, let's talk about the Rays briefly.
I want to talk about the dog in this team.
Yeah, Garrett Cole said he's got some dog in him, like
D-A-W-G. Garrett Cole once again flirting with a no-hitter. Man, I mean, just like it's incredible to me that this team has. How many times has this team taken no-hitters into the 7th and 8th this year? And 2 of them are perfect games. It feels like every night this team has a chance to throw a no-hitter.
I think at least 4, and like 2 of them were against the Angels in the same series.
Nestor did it against the Orioles. That was into the 7th, and then Tyone was a perfect game into the 8th. Cole was a perfect game into the 7th, and then a no-hitter into the 8th. I mean, just, it's unbelievable how often this happens. runs.
Mhm.
Matt Blake, and then obviously we're gonna have the duds like tonight. Tonight was a dud, but like it's just I feel bad for Cole that he didn't get the win. Although wins don't matter, I just feel like that it sucks that he got a no decision for going 8 innings plus and 12 strikeouts. Just like that's like Shohei Ohtani levels of I struck out 13 people or I drove in 8 runs and lost. It's
Yeah.
just kind of like that sucks, but that's okay. Team never gives up. Again, 27 outs. You got a tough pitcher on the mound, Shane Baz. Um, Clearly can't get anything going. And then Judge hits 2 monumental home runs, which, by the way, Judge, for some reason, 3 times now, the day after his day off, has hit 2 home runs. So for all the people out there who are like, oh, why are we resting Judge? That's why you're resting Judge. Because the next day he comes back and he's either pissed off Aaron Judge or he's feeling good after the rest day. But you know what? It works.
Mhm.
So everyone can be quiet. Like he's played so many games in a row on turf and in Rogers Center in Tampa Bay, 2 places that are notorious for people getting hurt. You get a day off, he comes in, has a big day. You'll love to see it.
I'm pretty sure that was the game where he pinch hit and almost hit a home run to tie the game. If I'm not mistaken.
That was painful. I thought off the bat it was gone.
Mm-hmm.
I thought off the bat it was gone. You had Marwin Gonzalez again hit a late home run. You're just like, okay, Aaron Judge is coming with the tying run. And then he hits it, and just that ball went nowhere. Meanwhile, you've got who was it? It was like Harold Ramirez hits an 85-mile-an-hour home run with a broken bat off Taco, and I'm just like, bro, what kind of juice ball are the Rays using today? Isaac Paredes is hitting home runs that Statcast doesn't even classify as barrels. Harold Ramirez hits an 85-mile-an-hour home run, and then Aaron Judge
in one game.
hits one, and it just dies in the track. I'm like, oh my god.
Mm-hmm. He hit 3 home runs in that game, and then the next game hits a home run.
Yeah.
4 home runs in 2 games. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Why is this happening?
It's just incredible. I mean, look, I just, again, like I was saying, like I'm like, what kind of juice balls are the Rays using? Because he is hitting them like 95 miles an hour of exit velo, 370 feet. I'm like, bro, that doesn't add up to me. Like, I hate the Trop. Man, the stadium's terrible. Mm-hmm. Anyway, Trevino, again, I think he's going to make the All-Star game as a backup. I don't know what the hell Taylor Walls is doing there.
I wanted to talk about
beatable team.
Yeah. I wanted to talk about the fact that Trevino did 2 key things in that game. One, he hit the go-ahead home run late in the game.
Tremendous.
And then he also bailed out Montgomery, who could not find the zone, and a bases loaded because Walls was way off third base for whatever reason.
It was a good throw. Johnson, that was a good timing play. But yes, he bailed him out. But man, what is Taylor Walls doing there? Why are you so far off third base?
Mm-hmm.
There's 2 outs. You should be running on contact. Like, why are you running like you're gonna have a squeeze play? I don't get it. Like, just what are you doing? And then Donaldson, credit to him, he got in the way, put himself between the bag and Taylor Walls. I mean, that play by Taylor Walls sucked. There's just no way to sprinkle it. Like, what are you doing, Mr. Beatable team? Yeah, they're certainly beatable. You're right. You nailed it. They won 5 of 6 from your team. Mm-hmm. Mr. Beatable team, 4th place, almost in 5th.
Yeah, I think
what a weirdo.
I think that's kind of the ironic thing is that he's the one who said the Yankees are beatable, but he makes all these crucial mistakes and ends up dropping games for the Rays against us.
Frank has a tying run in the 9th, like, bro.
So, yeah.
Beatable team.
I mean, obviously any team's beatable, but just kind of his demeanor on it was kind of.
There was one more thing, like Isaac Paredes after his 3-run home run game, he goes to the media and they're like, it was a pretty special game, right? And Isaac Paredes is like, it was even more special because I was playing the Yankees. I'm like, bro, you've been on the Rays for like 15 games. Why do you hate the Yankees so much? Like, are they just drinking the I hate the Yankees Kool-Aid in that clubhouse? Do they just have a picture of Aaron Judge on a dartboard every night? They just throw darts at the guy? Like, what? Why? He came from the Tigers. Why do you hate the Yankees so much? Like, why is this such a big deal for you? Like, yeah, come on, man. They've been spanking you all season now. What do you mean it's special to hit it against the Yankees? Come on, man. That's just it's so weird. like, I guess it's cool to have pride in that and everything, but I mean, they're just drinking the bulletin board material that they put up there, and just why? This is so weird. I don't know. You can tell me what you think about it. I mean, just like, just so
Uh,
weird.
Honestly, I don't really care about it too much. I mean,
No, I don't really care. I thought it was
he
funny. I'm like,
yeah.
bro, like you have a great night, and you don't want to talk about yourself. You don't want to say how special it is to you. No, I want to talk about the Yankees. Like, just so weird, dude. I don't know.
I'm just gonna give credit to him that he was literally Barry Bonds like for
Yeah,
two
he turned into
games.
Barry
Just
Bonds for one game.
yeah.
Unfortunately, he also turned into the Barry Bonds that never won anything. Sucks.
Well, that's pretty much all I have to talk about the Rays series. I guess probably the last thing that we should talk about briefly, very briefly, is kind of what are we expecting moving forward with this Astros series? I mean, tomorrow and
It's gonna
just
be a
in general.
slog. It's gonna be a slog. If Aaron Hicks is not in the lineup tomorrow, we have to talk. Aaron Hicks should be starting over Joey Gallo tomorrow. Change my mind.
Justin Verlander is pitching as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Justin Verlander, who is coming off of a White Sox series that did not really do favors for his ERA. So we're probably going to see not happy Justin Verlander pitching tomorrow. You're really going to need to work hard. He's not an easy customer. That better be our A lineup in there tomorrow. I mean, look, Trevino better start tomorrow. I have way more confidence, although Hicks is looking better. But, man, that's going to be a tough game tomorrow. I'm glad that we got through today's game, not using Holmes, not using. Well, we warmed up Holmes. We didn't need to use him. We got King. We got all the top guys. Peralta's ready to go. Everyone's ready to go tomorrow, pretty much. Everyone can pitch, I think. So it's good. We're going to need them tomorrow. I feel like that's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a close game tomorrow.
What did we use? We used Abreu,
Abreu's
and Castro, correct?
Yeah, we used Abreu, Castro, and
Lucas Luque.
Lucas Licky. And Lucas Licky, we use him. We all the time we're using Licky. He's a lefty specialist essentially for us. So I mean, for the next couple games, I expect a lot more home runs. It's gonna be a lot of more tough pitching from the Astros and us. Obviously, these two teams are in first place for a reason, and we saw it tonight. Neither team gives up. They hit home runs and they pitch well. I mean, that's the key to success nowadays. It's just I think important for us to have home field advantage. We play very well at home, and I feel like when we go to Houston to play them, I feel like it'll be a different story.
All right, well, that's all the time that we have today. If you guys did enjoy the podcast, make sure you do subscribe if you haven't already. Click that bell notification so you don't miss a video. Like the video, share it if you want to. That would mean a lot to us. And comment down below on what you guys would like us to talk about in the future and what we can do better about. And we will see you guys on the next video.
Vote for Trevino for the All-Star game, please. We need to get this guy there.
Vote Trevino. Go do it now.
We'll do it now.